Hey, what's going on? It's your boy BT, and I came here to talk some boxing with the thousands of True School Sports subscribers. Now, make sure you guys smash that bell notification and subscribe down below so you can get all the alerts, all the videos, and everything that comes out here on True School Sports when we go live, everything. So do that, do yourself a favor, and surely you will not be disappointed. Now, something interesting that I saw recently, and I wanted to touch on this, and this is also in regards to Tyson Fury versus Deontay Wilder, because we are in the middle of what I am dubbing "I Told You So" week. So happy I Told You So week to everybody out there. But I saw an interview with Sugar Hill Steward, who trained Tyson Fury for this fight. It was their first fight together, and it was just an absolute marvelous performance. You know, a virtuoso masterclass performance of the highest order in a fight that was such a big fight. You know, not just right now, but in the history of boxing. With that being said, Sugar Hill Steward in post-fight interviews actually dropped he dropped something interesting. He said that he's actually considering that being his only fight with Tyson Fury and retiring, just outright retiring from the sport of boxing, from professional boxing at least, because he said he still wants to go back to Detroit, you know, and train the amateurs, which, you know, fair play to him. The amateur game is a lot more, it's more of like, you know, the pure boxing, like the heart and soul boxing is amateur boxing. So I understand why someone like him would want to be in amateur boxing, because sometimes you don't have to most of the time you don't have to deal with a lot of the extracurricular activities you do in the professional ranks. There's not media obligations out the ass like he probably had for this fight. So I respect him, but if those reports are true, if there's any truth to those reports, then I got to question, you know, like, okay, well, where does Fury go from here? If Sugar Hill is going to retire and that's going to be their only fight, then where does Fury go from here? Like, does Fury go back to Ben Davison? Was that just a one-off thing for the Wilder fight? Is he like what happens? Like, what happens next on Dragon Ball Z with Tyson Fury and Sugar Hill Steward? Because I thought they did an exceptional job. I mean, we saw the best version of Tyson Fury we've ever seen in his entire boxing career. It's like Ben Davison, when he came back off the, you know, his whole ordeal with the mental health and depression and the drugs, Ben Davison got him in shape. He kept him happy. He got him to a certain level. But then there was only so far he could take him, because considering what happened in the first Wilder fight, Fury knew he needed to do something different for the rematch. And fair play to him. He did. He hired Sugar Hill Steward. And Sugar Hill Steward he pushed every right button. He made every right adjustment. And Tyson Fury, you know, because of the adjustments Sugar Hill Steward implemented in camp and in the gym, Tyson Fury was able to put his name in the record books, not just for now, not just for modern day history, but the whole history of boxing and the rich tradition of the heavyweight division. You see what I'm saying? So we can't take Sugar Hill's influence and what Sugar Hill did lightly. And I'll be honest with you guys. I'll say this much. Tyson Fury, as much as I love the guy, because I'm a huge fan of Tyson Fury, always have been. I've always said that, even when it wasn't popular, I've always said Tyson Fury is the best heavyweight in the world if he's match fit and he's focused. And he's proven that. He's proven that. He's proven that, and he's separated himself as a king of the division while everybody else is a peasant. With that being said, I think if Sugar Hill does leave Tyson Fury and Tyson Fury goes back to Ben Davison, Tyson Fury will obviously still be a formidable opponent. He'll still be, in my opinion, the best heavyweight in the world by some margin. But he's going to fight down. He's going to do what he's always did his whole career. He will fight down to the level of his opposition, and he'll become a more beatable fighter. So I think if you're someone like Anthony Joshua or someone in this camp, you want Sugar Hill to retire. You want these reports to be true, because a Tyson Fury trained by you know what, we'll refer to him as the great Sugar Hill Steward, because you make those adjustments. You gotta call him the great Sugar Hill Steward. That guy, that Fury we saw yesterday against Wilder, under the great Sugar Hill Steward, I think that guy could have competed with and, you know, had a good chance at beating any heavyweight history. And I know that might sound like I'm exaggerating and I'm living in the moment, but no, I know what I'm watching, man. To see a 6'9" heavyweight at 270 pounds with slick movement, pressing forward, shielding punches, being able to place the right hand perfectly, get in and out when he needs to, move laterally when he has to, cut the distance, you know, at the speed of light. Tyson Fury last night, I'm not talking about for his whole career, because his whole career, if you go through all the different stages of his career, he's been many different people in his career. You know, early in his career, he damn near lost to John McDermott, and Nikolai Further had him out on his feet. Okay, so he fought down to the level of those guys. In the case of the John McDermott fight, people thought he lost at the first John McDermott fight, so he had to rematch him and put that to bed. You know, then as he matured, as he kind of, then you had the years where, like when he fought Steve Cunningham, he fought more aggressive. And then as he matured and got smarter, got his wits about him, he learned that he was 6'9", he could slip, he could move, and he became a more defensive, slick, sound boxer. You know, he showed and displayed the sweet science of boxing, using his height, his movement, and his attributes to his advantage. But what Sugar Hill Steward was able to do with Tyson Fury was take every positive attribute he had in his skill set, whether we knew about it or not, whether we knew about his ability to punch or not. He took every positive attribute that we knew and didn't know, and he put it all together on that particular night against Wilder in the rematch. And what we saw on that night was not just the most complete heavyweight in the division right now, but one of the most complete heavyweights in the history of the sport. And I'm not backstepping on that. I mean what I say, and I say what I mean when I say that. Tyson Fury was one of the most complete heavyweights I've ever seen in my life under Sugar Hill Steward. So I would love to see them continue to grow, build chemistry, go in the gym. At least for the Joshua fight, at least until he fights Joshua. And then if he beats Joshua with Sugar Hill Steward, then honestly, after that, I think they can both retire happily, because there's nothing else to do for Fury or Sugar Hill Steward. He went undisputed. He's the man. So that's my hope. I'm crossing my fingers. But I'll leave the interview for you guys down below. He did an interview with BT Sport talking about retiring. So it's something to think about. But leave your comments down below. Take the time to subscribe, like I say in every single one of these videos. You can love me or you can hate me, but I'm just Kid from Daniel. So until next time, take care, guys.